Hello everyone, welcome back. We just came back from our vacation. We went to Merida and Valladolid, Yucatan. And what can I say? It was such a great experience. We experienced the real Mayan culture, especially in Valladolid. Took a few trips to the ruins, the cenotes. And man, overall it was so much fun. The cities are so peaceful. People are just so kind in Yucatan. I had such a great time, and honestly I wish I could just quit my job and move to Merida, which we can technically. I am wearing my guayabera and my gorra that I bought in Merida, and she's wearing a dress, typical Yucatanan, however you say that. Typical dress from Yucatan. Very typical, you'll see it.
But today we're really excited to share with you 10, possibly 10, or a little under 10 tips on what to expect on your trip if you go to Yucatan. So we went to Merida and Valladolid, Yucatan in the middle of August. So please keep in mind that it all depends on the time of year that you go. When we were there, the average temperature was 95 degrees with about 70% humidity. Now, if you've never experienced 70% humidity, it's hot.
It is hot. It kind of sucks. I mean, but it's nice. I mean, you're gonna have a lot of fun.
Well, and with that, I'm just very, very prepared with knowing that you have to wear, or you don't have to, but it is recommended, we recommend that you wear moisture wicking clothes. If you wear cotton, what happens?
It kills you. Cotton kills.
Cotton kills. Cotton is the hottest material you can possibly wear. And with moisture wicking clothes, you'll be nice and fresh. To my surprise, I ended up wearing one dress most of my trip just because it was so lightweight, and it was flowy, and it allowed a lot of breathability. And so with all of the clothes that I took, I had jeans and I had some shorts. I actually didn't even end up wearing half of the things that I took. So next time I know that I will take very fresh moisture wicking clothes.
Yes, absolutely, I agree. I also took some pants, some jeans. I did not wear them. I was wearing my typical tri-blend t-shirts, which are okay, but like she said, moisture wicking clothing, fitness clothing, exercise clothing, I think that is your best bet.
Information on that.
Yes.
But with humidity and hot weather also comes mosquitoes.
Yes, as soon as you get off the airplane or the bus, walk to a drugstore and get a big bottle of mosquito repellent and that anti-itch cream. You will need it.
So that's tip number 2 right there.
Oh,
where
I do want to say though that those mosquitoes, they're either so tiny you can't see them, or they're invisible. You will not see them.
Yes, so to our surprise, when we got there, we were full of mosquito bites, which is actually very typical with not just us, but just anyone living there and tourists or whatnot. So be prepared with some mosquito repellent and some anti-itch cream. And there's plenty of drugstores out there, and we paid probably about $3 or $4 per bottle. So
maybe like for both.
For both, yes.
Yeah.
With that, we have another tip for you. Not only is it really hot and you need to be prepared with that, and you have a lot of mosquitoes, but under weather category, be prepared with water. If you go to any of the archaeological sites like Chichen Itza, or what was the other one?
Uxmal, Ekbalam.
Be very well prepared with water. Although they do sell water inside the archaeological part of
by the entrance.
By the entrance, it's so incredibly hot that you'll need cold water. So one of the things is that next time we are actually going to be taking a like a hydro flask or something that is insulated, so your water can stay nice and cold. We froze water overnight, and within about 2 to 3 hours, that water was hot.
Yes. So take plenty of water. Again, they're gonna say most places sell water at the entrance, but once you're inside the ruins or the archaeological places, you're not gonna find water. You might get lucky if you see a couple booths here and there selling water, but yes, freeze your water, a few bottles of water, take them with you because it is hot, very, very hot and humid.
Yeah. We also had a few experiences with money. Do you want to talk about money?
Yes, so number one, we forgot our ATM card. We only took our credit cards with us. And so in order to operate your credit card, or if you try to get cash back using an ATM machine, your credit card needs a PIN code similar to your ATM card, and you have to request that in advance. With that said, we did not have a PIN code for our credit card, nor our ATM card, so we ran out of cash. So, number one, take cash. Also, a lot of restaurants, a lot of places will not take credit card or any type of card. They only take cash, especially the small places, family-owned restaurants. They only take cash. If you decide to take a credit card, make sure you get that PIN code in advance.
So make sure that you check with your bank that you are all cleared so that they don't block your card. Make sure that if you are going to pay with your card anywhere, make sure you have that PIN number just to be safe. It might be that you don't need it, but we ran out of cash and we didn't have that PIN. So what we ended up doing was I called my parents and they actually transferred money from the United States to Mexico, and it worked out, but to avoid that hassle, have that PIN number.
We spent a lot of time just figuring out what to do. Our dogs are playing. We could have done something else if we would have been prepared, but it was a good experience, and next time we know.
And with under the cash category, if you are like us, we were traveling with the locals, we were backpacking around the towns, and so with that we decided to take something called colectivos, which are co-op buses, and of course it is ran by local people, so they will not take your credit card, they will only take cash. But colectivos are very inexpensive and a wonderful experience. We paid about, on average, what?
Like $35.
35 pesos.
Pesos, yeah.
Yeah, not
pesos,
dollars.
that's right.
Which
pesos.
comes out to about $2 or so per ride.
Yes, avoid taxis. Taxis cost a lot more. We were gonna take a taxi from Valladolid to Chichen Itza, and they were gonna charge us 400 pesos. The colectivos charged, they charged us $35 pesos. Yeah, so colectivos. If you're traveling from one city to another, take the bus, ADO, or Sur, or some other buses. Those are fairly inexpensive as well.
With the bus, ADO, they are a little bit more higher end, so you'll get air conditioner and a restroom in there. If you take others like Sur or I think it's called Oriente, those are used more by the locals, and they don't have they do have air conditioner, but they don't have a restroom, so they differ in prices. So just see what you can afford and what you want to do.
Yeah, plus they stop at every town. Yeah. Almost every town.
Some of the local ones stop at every town. For me, it was such a wonderful experience because we saw all the small towns, versus ADO just goes straight, they don't stop, and you don't get to see a lot of like the small villages. But one of the things we did not do, and we are going to do next time, and we recommend that you look into, is possibly renting a car.
Yeah, I think with renting a car, you have the flexibility of going wherever you want. You don't have to wait for a bus or a colectivo or a taxi. Renting a car is probably the best way to go. Plus, if you want to stay away from the touristic cities and drive to smaller towns, renting a car is probably the best way to go.
Again, it depends on what experience you want. If you rent a car, most likely you're not going to be sitting next to locals. One of the wonderful experiences we had with colectivos was sitting literally next to people that lived in villages, and they talked to us about different cenotes or different things to do that we wouldn't have heard of.
Hidden gems.
Yeah, those hidden gems. And so for me, it was a wonderful experience. So it really depends on what you want your experience to be.
Yes.
And with that, also when thinking of the different activities that you're doing, whether it's going to like the archaeological places like Chichen Itza, most places are going to offer you a tour. Now, we had the experience, we were hyped and excited, and we thought we are going to go into Chichen Itza and explore on our own. To our surprise, we found that it was better to have a tour guide. And that is because a tour guide is knowledgeable and they will give you insights into the true culture and the roots of what, what you're seeing.
Yes, the tour guide that we chose was an older man, very knowledgeable, still spoke the Mayan language. So we thought that was a really good experience. And actually learning history, learning about the pyramids.
So one of the tips for that would be that you team up with other people. Typically at Chichen Itza, a tour guide will cost 800 pesos. With 800 pesos, it can be 2 people, 1 person, or up to 20 or 25 people, whatever your group is. For us, we ended up going on our first tour, just both of us, but quickly realized that we should have teamed up with other people to not only break the cost, but also, when people ask questions, when you have a big group, they'll ask other questions that maybe you didn't think of, and you get to learn more, and you get to meet people along the way.
Yes, I agree. All right, so those are personal tips from our trip. Any final words?
As we mentioned, we decided to go more of on a backpacking trip in the middle of August, so do your research. That was our personal experience and we had a great time. We will for sure go back. But yeah, do your research and talk to as many people as you can and learn and enjoy the culture.